gotta love those beavers. They don't waste any time. I've been watching them now for a couple of weeks back and forth across the shore. But they don't like it when you get too close. Welcome back to GP Outdoors. We're on our way over to Guy's place to do a little grading a little early this year. Actually, I should start doing some of my own. I'm not sure if you've noticed over the last 3 years, but Guy's driveway has absolutely no gravel in it. It's all sand. He has about 6 to 8 inches of sand, no gravel at all. And he said the reason he leaves it that way is so that during the spring thaw every year and through any heavy rains, the water permeates much faster through the sand than it would through dirt or the packed gravel. And I believe he's right. Every April, I go for about 2 to 3 weeks where I can get in with my truck, but my wife or my kids can't get through because of the depth of the mud that I get in certain spots on this driveway. Guy goes through a few days to a week at the most of kind of deep mud, and then it's dry. We get big heavy rains, I get mud, and he's right. That sand permeates, the water permeates through it very quickly. However, I dropped by for a coffee yesterday. My truck literally bottomed out at the end of his driveway because he's got such deep ruts there. So while we were sitting in the workshop, me and him and Bobby, of course, were making a few jokes about the fact that he needed to do a little bit of maintenance on the driveway. And well, you know Guy, after a couple of coffees, he somehow talked me into heading over there today and dropping the box plate on it. So that's what we're doing today. To be honest, I don't think I've ever done any grading on his driveway before. And he's all sand. In fact, I don't know if I've ever graded a pure sand driveway. Usually he'll just come over and steal the box and do it himself. So I'm looking forward to it. Something new to learn. We'll give it a shot. I think I'm probably going to start without the scarifiers, see how that works, and if I need to drop them, I'll drop them. I hope you'll stick around. Cheers. Alrighty, let's take a look at what we're up to today. This is the worst of it here. Not quite sure how well it's going to show up on camera, but it's starting to get really deep right here. Hopefully you can see that. There's where the water found its way through. And I believe this area right here is where I bottomed out last night on my way in. And as you folks can see, it's just all sand. After taking a look at it, I decided to change my mind. I am going to drop the scarifiers, and I have already, down to the 3rd position, because it is pretty hard packed in some areas, and I think it makes sense to drop them first, see if I can dig up or loosen up that sand before I start trying to smooth it out. That'll also give it a chance to collect a little more into the box and allow it to drop into those rain ruts. I'm also going to drop the box down, and I'm going to tilt it slightly backwards or from front to back. And that means I'm just going to take the upper arm here and I'm going to extend it out a little bit. We'll give it a shot. Like I said, I'm learning. Challenges of YouTube. Camera down. The LX2610 came standard with these lower lift arm extenders. I didn't really pay too much mind to them at first, but if you've got attachments that are not quick hitch compatible that you're hooking up straight to your 3-point, these things are an ingenious idea. I just used it again this morning. I can't tell you how many times with the old B2601 I was fighting and grunting and groaning trying to move, you know, this 460-pound implement around on the ground to get my lower lift arms lined up. This thing here, you just push it down and you get a good 3 or 4 inch extension. Works every time. Used it again this morning. Really great benefit on this tractor. I think I've ripped it up pretty good now. Got a lot of loose sand and dirt that I can now work with. So I'm going to raise those scarifiers, get them up. Going to tilt the box a little bit forward so that I've got a bit of a gap on the back when it sits. And then I'm going to start pushing it back and forth to try to smooth it out. So this part of the driveway we're doing has several inches of sand, but you could probably tell it's also part of the original driveway. There is a little bit of small gravel mixed in and dirt. But the one trouble I think he's got is that the land tends to swell from the forest across on an angle on the driveway, which is probably what keeps causing those ruts every year. So he said he may end up grabbing a couple of loads of gravel or more sand and trying to build this driveway back up so that hopefully we can kind of crown it a bit at some point to allow the rain to run down the sides. Anyways, let's flip up those scarifiers, tilt the box. Let's see if we can smooth this out now. I don't think you'll be seeing any more action shots today. That camera is done for. They don't make them box blade and scarifier proof, but hey, I try my best to get good action shots, and well, sometimes you got to take a bit of a risk. Of course, I'm looking forward to seeing what the footage looks like if there's any in it. I wanted to take a moment just to welcome all the new subscribers we've had to the channel over the last while, and to reiterate a very important message I haven't mentioned for a while, especially for you new folks. I just want you to know I'm only about 3.5 years in using tractors, so I am by no means an expert, whether it's at grading, as you're seeing today, or at any other type of implement that I use around the property. I'm learning just as you folks are. So very important to keep that in mind when you see me working the tractor on these videos. I'm just showing you how I do it and how I'm learning to do it. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the right way to do it. Fortunately, we have a lot of long-time tractor owners as subscribers, and if you take time to read through some of the comments, you'll often see that advice or suggestions will be offered in the comments, which I've always found to be really helpful. Welcome to the channel. Okay, I think she's all wrapped up. Let's take a look. For those that might have been wondering, at the end there I was back dragging in float. Tilted the bucket down, and then I put the front end loader in float so I could just drag it along. Turned out reasonably well. There is a lot of sand in here. Good learning experience for me, I think. Got rid of all the ruts. One thing I do like about that box blade is its ability to collect material and slowly leak it out the back to try to fill in potholes or rain ruts or those kind of things. And the tractor's got the numbers for that, you know, position control. So once you get used to the height of your blade and what number you use, as you get closer to the finish, you're able to use the correct numbers to slowly start lifting the box a little bit off the ground so you can just take out care of all the high points and try to smooth it out. But that's good. I'll have to check with the chief to make sure he's happy with the job, but he's definitely going to need either more sand or maybe it's time to start throwing some stone on here. Yep, should be fine. Thanks very much for sticking around with me today. Sorry about the lack of action shots, but it looks like I'm on my way to the store this week to buy a new camera. Life of a YouTube guy. They don't last long. If you like the channel, please click subscribe, hit the like button, and if you want to know when I'm posting videos, just click that little bell. Have a wonderful and safe week with your families. Please be kind to one another, and I'll see you again right here on GP Outdoors. Cheers.